the process was that Gowalla had to create these virtual items. They had to create these tickets that were available for redemption when people picked them up. So people would, someone would check into a location, a sports bar somewhere, and they would grab this virtual item that Gowalla had created.
Let's talk. So were the locations predetermined by somebody? Were they random?
Yep. So we scattered them within 75 miles of the arena in New Jersey and New York, and they were targeted. The genre of location was targeted. So it was sports themed locations. It was outdoor recreational facilities, but they weren't specifically targeted. So we really had no idea as to exactly where the goods were stored, but people were able to redeem them based on being at these targeted locations. So yeah, they weren't completely random, but we didn't know exactly which ones were targeted.
Yeah.
So yeah, once people checked in, they were able to redeem these tickets, and they also got an email to the account, the email address that was associated with the account, which told them that they had won this ticket. It was redeemable for an actual ticket at the box office of the Izod Center, which is where the Nets played, on April 12th. They were instructed to go and visit this table that we had set up at the game and redeem their ticket there. I'm trying to take it a little bit slower, though. I'm trying to think about anything in those details that you might be interested in.
Well, so how many pairs of tickets were at each location? Was it just one set of tickets, or was it in 250 locations, or was there just kind of multiple sets? Do you know?
No, there were multiple sets at some locations, but they were scattered throughout. I would say 100 or so, or even more than 100 locations. So, so they were all across the city into New Jersey, as long as it was within that 75-mile radius. And so, yeah, just because someone checked in at one location doesn't mean that the ticket was then gone from that location. The idea was to capture people by surprise almost. We wanted that wow factor, like, oh, I'm going to check into Modell's. Oh, wait, I just got this
free Nets tickets.
This free ticket. It was almost trying to really wow them into going into the game.
And those locations did not know that they were participating in this.
No, they had no idea.
Well, because you think that, you go to a lotto stand and it says, hey, big $10 million jackpot won here. You think that, the awareness that those guys now have that they were, somebody won Nets tickets from their location. Is that, would you ever consider working in partnership with these guys like that?
That's definitely a play, and it's something that we foresee doing in the future, but really this was a complete test.
Yeah.
We were doing this for the very first time, and we kind of wanted to test it at a bare level.
Yep.
But I can definitely see that happening at some point where we partner with specific locations to actually give these away, and that's another point of revenue possibly.
Sure.
I was, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. I was going to say that the locations are all user created. So I can go to a sports bar and create that location. Now, not all of them are user created. It might be the actual person from the company or the actual business that creates that location. But I have the ability to create any location that I'd like. So that's a point about Gowalla and Foursquare. That you're able to create these locations. It's not necessarily the fact that the business owns that spot, which is also an interesting thought, and maybe a conversation that's going to happen down the line is, do these companies actually have some ownership of these spots? I don't know. Maybe that's a play for Gowalla and Foursquare to decide on their own. So
absolutely. Yeah.